this process, looking into potential gas or oil, really takes a long time. For one well logs, it might takes about 1 or 2 weeks. So using machine learning, we can uh, cut the time by processing hundred of well logs within 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour. Yep. So I'm doing machine learning using Python. Okay. So why do I need to do final year project? Is it really important? So this is my, for introduction, I want to tell you a little bit about my FY project. During this time, my project was written in English. It would be better if you guys can write it in English, because more international company, more big company really appreciate if you wrote it in English. Yeah, because most of the big company, we have international staff, expatriates, so they will don't understand in Malay. So please try to write your thesis in English. If I was given a time to reverse back my time, I will return this project in English in a better way. Right. So my project name is Food Stall Evaluation System for PKU, Pusat Kesihatan University. Yeah, Student Health Center in UTHM. So basically, this project is we want to evaluate the food stall in UTHM. So I was asked with the health officer in PKU, uh, how do they evaluate? How do they accept the application of uh, the vendors, the food vendor, to able to open their store within UTHM? So basically, during this time I'm using PHP, vanilla PHP, nothing fancy framework, not Laravel, just vanilla PHP, naked PHP. But I'm using PWA, Progressive Web App, where we are able to open the system in mobile, and we can install it in the mobile without going through the Play Store. You can Google more on PWA, because it is now current trend on PWA. So my project is available on mobile and desktop. The evaluation part, I mean the health officer will go to interview the vendor, the food vendor, and uh, ask whether they qualify or not to open the stall in UTHM. And then the higher hierarchy of PKU will overlook into the application in the admin system, where that will be in desktop, web desktop. So both of them actually are web based. To ease the mobile installation, I'm not using Java native because takes a hassle for a normal user or a layman user to install that application. So using this method, I'm the user have to only browse to the URL and then install it in their mobile device. So why do you need to do FYP? So in so basically, when we enter to interview session, the interviewer, firstly, before you get to interview, they will ask for your resume or CV, right? But obviously, you guys will not have CV because you don't have any work experience. and you have to write a resume. Resume is a short version of CV. So the interviewer will obviously will look into what kind of the your final year project you do, what kind of language if you do, and also you don't have any technical portfolio, you don't have any GitHub page, you don't have any GitLab page to share your project. And one things to highlight here, if you have your current, if you are doing your FYP, it's better to put your codes in GitHub on GitLab. This is a versioning tool. This is a very good tool for you guys to use because all entire IT industry is using this. I mean, not is GitHub and GitLab. I mean the Git environment. I mean the versioning system. The code versioning system is being used entirely across IT industry. So you won't have any issue losing your code if you put your codes there. Okay, so you guys don't have any this work experience. So the interviewer, and also you don't have any this GitHub repo with this what code have you done, what code have you developed, right? So the interview will, when you enter an interview session, they will ask you what is your previous final project. It would be easier if you have a tablet or iPad to show them this is what is your project. What have you done with the project? They will ask you what is your problem. What have you encountered problem with developing the system? What are technology you use? And a lot of things. And then, okay, FYP actually increase your problem solving skill and a workable solution. These will be the main things that the interviewer will ask you. What kind of problem that you face? Because they don't care about what is the project that have you done, what are the impact that it gives you, but they want to know how good is you in solving problems. If you have a lot of problem, it's better to show them and tell them what is your solution. Present to them, convince them what is your solution. So if it's not workable, if it is workable, it's good then. If it's not, you should defend why it doesn't work. Uh, why it, in the first place it give you problem. What should you do to avoid that problem? A lot of things you can learn during final year project. Back was in my time. Actually, I think everyone should meet their product owner. I'm not sure about how to call what it called. Uh, I mean the one that you are doing your project with. I mean in my case, I was doing with PKU, so I should ask them, meet them, and ask them what should you put in the project. So usually during this time, they will ask you a lot of things. They want the same thing as they have in the manual form. So you have to justify whether you need to change their manual system and make it a better way. So that is one problem that you will face, and you need to solve that. You cannot just put the manual form uh, and then just type in everything and then just use everything. It doesn't work that way in IT world. You should have a proper plan, uh, how your system going to flow, how what is the start place and the ending place of the each flow of each module. So this thing you need to present very well to the interviewer. Back when I was in, yeah, in gigs during this, even in internship session, I was asked, uh, I have an interview session with them to to ask about my FIP session, FIP project, what I have done, what I have do, what are the problem I face, and one actually it was interviewed by their lead senior programmer.
شوف الاعدادات يا جيشان.
Sorry,
بسم الله انا هذا من هو عرض بنت مباشر العب.
sorry, are you asking question? Okay, it's okay. So during this time, the question is quite tricky. They want me to list 5 problems that I face during my FYP session, during I'm doing my FYP. So I think half of the people going to this interview session with Gates IT Explosion cannot pass that requirement because they really want to know what is your problem and how you solve it. Okay, okay. Actually, yeah, coding and debugging. Actually, this is the differentiator between a new fresh programmer and a very experienced programmer. Everyone can code, but what gives you more value is how you could solve any issue that you have. So I'm really emphasizing you guys to find a problem in your project and solve it. Try to solve it. Even if you could not make it in time in finishing your FYP, it's okay. It's better for you to present your project. Don't afraid to present your project, even they are not finished. Just justify to the panel why your project is not finished. Why are they lagging of time? What is wrong with your timing? You need to justify to them. It's better for you to finish, to complete your FYP in the current year instead of uh, trying to repeat it again in the next semester. And then for a research student, actually, uh, and for research student, actually, research things you need to do a proper, a good research project because it could convince you to get a better supervisor in the future. Right? If you're planning to further your master or PhD abroad, so you need to write a good research because the supervisor will look into they will measure your understanding on your research topic and they want to see your ability to look into new things. So actually, researcher is a best friend of programmer because without researcher, we are unable to get this awesome cool methodology. Thanks to the researcher, we can now use machine learning. Thanks to the researcher, we can now have a, a lighter phone, thinner phone, and also without and even if the research itself has been done but without programmer, the research would not be able to be used by the end user. So actually the researchers are program actually if you have both ability in terms of research and programmer, it will really appreciate because when I'm working with research team in PSB, uh, so I have to look into lot of research thing. I have to look into mathematical formula, look into chemical formula and even physics equation. So we really need to work closely with them. Right. One more thing to highlight is regarding the domain knowledge. When you do a certain project, when you do certain project, you need to see, you need to look into the domain of that project. If in my case, I'm doing project with PKU, so you have to study. You have to study how does PKU operates. What will they want to do? I mean, what what is their focus on? So we want we want that. I mean, we have to show them what are the potential, what are the future things that they can implement to their system, to their current workflow, so that they have a more efficient time, can save their time, can save their cost, because that is the initial initiative why we we convert from manual system to current information system, right? Because now we can say that uh, we are using less people, we are using more system. Okay, is there anything you want to ask me regarding the, because I'm not familiar with this team. Yeah. Before I'm proceeding, if any one of you, okay, okay. If any one of you have any question, you can ask direct me. Can open your mind, ask me. Okay, actually, this is a very short presentation because uh, uh, this is based on my experience. Right. Actually, maybe other people have a better way to explain how they use their FYP and how the FYP uh, help them to get a better job. So for tips and trick working during MCO, so I know everyone is currently struggling during MCO. A lot of people are losing their work. A lot of people losing their ability to get money and struggling, staying at home. I mean, physically and mentally. So what we can do now is trying to stay put and please, yeah, follow our government instruction. Just stay at home. So now, regarding the tips and trick using find job during MCO. So first is you need to build up network. This is the most important thing. I think there's no other way to let people hire you instead of networking. I mean, you have to let people know who are you. You have to tell them. You have to show off who you are. You have to find a right platform. So in this case, I'm suggesting you. This is one of the local local Facebook group, which is programming laman web UI UX. So actually, in this group, a lot of job is being offered. Lot of job. So you in this even you can ask people. Oh, sorry, I forgot to plug in. Even in this group, you can ask the lot of programmer in here about your problem. During my FYP, I'm also asking them a few of the technical issue that I face. So you can post You should write a better question and post here. Don't just ask. I need to ask about PHP. That is very general question. You should specify what is your problem, and it's better if you can share your snippet of your code. And this is a very good community. If you build up your connection here, you can go further, you can go higher, you can get a better job here, because lot of people, I think every day people are offering job here. And one of the group is DevHub Malaysia. This is the Telegram group. This is more active than uh, the Facebook group. So here is one of the place where you can share, you can ask question about programming. And here also they post on the any vacancy. And one more thing is you should during this MCO, where you have more time at home, you have less time to travel, to play outside, you should build up your own portfolio. Portfolio is you want to build a simple site to share with most of the people what have you done. So this is my sample portfolio, but I haven't updated this in a long time. Think about 2 years back. I think I'm doing this portfolio when it's one on 2018. So the most important things for you to highlight is to tell about yourself. Just tell generally what kind of person are you, and then showcase to them what project have you developed, and then leave your contact info there so people can contact you if they're interested in hiring you. I guess that is my slide. Yeah. Is there any question you want to ask? Okay. Want to ask? Okay. So Zaim here asked about Stack Overflow. Okay. Actually, I think most of the programmer are referring to Stack Overflow, right? Stack Overflow. So, yeah, based on Zaim question, sorry. Yep. You can refer to Stack Overflow, but you have to learn how to use the Stack Overflow. The first section is a question. You can look at the rating of the question, but in this case, this rating is low, and you have looked into the answer. Right? The most important thing is you to have to look at the answer, look at the rating, and read the comments. In this case, we don't have any comments, but uh, so in this case, we have a good quality of question. We have about yeah 978 upvotes. We can look, and this question and this answer is rated about 1000, and it has been verified by the asker. So it approved that this is a workable solution. So you really need to read, to learn how to use the Stack Overflow. Uh, okay. Okay, Imran, you asked about framework. Since I'm working with research environment, we are currently not using any framework. I mean, now we don't use any framework. We just uh, try to replicate from research code in MATLAB and try to use it, implement it in the I mean the workable product, because we have to test with the production data. I mean seismic data, last file. Okay, so Shazwan asked me about the most challenging part during FYP. The most challenging part is managing your time. That is the most important part, because um, uh, you have friends. They are really the person uh, that actually uh, steal your time. Usually, you will follow them to everywhere, and then because FYP is quite a broad thing to do. If you're not interested in programming, you will tend to work on your FYP in a very last minute time. That is the most challenging part that I face. And then the second part is dealing with IT of the health officer in PKU, because they are usually not around. We have to book their time, and even if we book their time, we have they sometimes have other important things to do. So you really have to deal with them properly, and and make sure that you prepared before you come and meet them. Prepare your question, what you want to ask, what you need, and prepare what have you done to them. And one more thing is on the hardware part. The most one of the challenging part is to have a good workable laptop. If you have a really cheap and slow laptop, it will cost you lot of time in developing your project. Sometime if you're working, even especially if you're working with Java programming, Java really needs a very big RAM, um, a better computer, faster computer, because you need to render a lot of things. You have to compile everything. Uh, yep. Okay. Okay. For FYP. Um,
Bos tu, Fis.
yeah. Okay. Not easy. So in job interview process, so for FYP, actually they will ask you regarding what the okay, basically you will present to them what have you done in your FYP, and then they will ask you what are the programming language you use, and you need to explain to them what is the flow of your system, and and then they will eventually ask you what is the problem that you have faced during that uh, during you doing your presentation. What kind of user they will ask you, they like to ask you what kind of user are you dealing when you doing your FYP. They will really interested to know. They will ask, have you met someone when you do PSM, uh, and what are their behavior? Are they really strict, or are they don't care what you do? So what is your response to that? Then, what are your response to that kind of user? Because they sometimes they want to know uh, uh, what kind of person are you dealing with and how you handle them. Yeah. I hope that answer your question, Dr. Izzy. Okay, for Shazwan, he asked me about the coding language, programming language. It's quite to answer this because it's very general question regarding programming language. Because each project, each application, I mean, if you are doing with web application, it has a lot of programming language. Even Java, you have to look into a specific field. If you're going towards security, maybe you can learn more about Java because I'm not. It's been a long time. I'm not involving with a web application. Um, so if you are doing web, you can try to explore maybe Java or what. But this thing you need to ask to the expert. You have to basically try to go to this programming and website. So they will tell you maybe the new current trend, what are the new famous programming language, because you have to look into your future which route you want to take. I mean, you want to be a researcher, you want to be a web developer, you want to be a application developer, a desktop developer, a machine learning interface. You have to look into that. But in my case, I'm doing machine learning. I would prefer to use Python compared to R because Python have more library compared to R programming language. Yep. Okay, which one is more challenging between implementing mobile apps and website, and which one of the both is suited for FYP? Okay, it depends on your project. Some project doesn't require uh, doesn't require mobile app and only require website. Some project only require mobile app, but and doesn't require any website at all. But the most ideal thing to do, because I'm not sure about current trend in web development, but I think most of the time, okay, people would prefer to stick with the same platform. If you want to develop in web, just stick with web and try to find a workaround uh, to because it would still save a lot of time instead of uh, doing two language. I mean, people have their ideas where the system is must be in PHP, but the mobile app need to be in Java. That will take a lot of time because you have to for you guys in your studies to learn two language. I think during my time we are not taught to 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 code in PHP. We only code in C++ and Java, if I'm not mistaken, and learn about database, the my SQL database. Right. So try to plan your FYP where it use less of your time. I mean, use less of your knowledge. Just try to stick one programming language. If you want to proceed to Java, right? So better for you to make everything in Java. I mean, in Android. For admin part, you create a admin part in Android, and also um create a user app also in app. Just don't be too ambitious about your FYP, because you can learn a lot of things uh, during your internship. Okay. One thing is that if you want to be uh, a good, a successful programmer, you need to be schooled. You need to learn to work under high stressful environment. You need to learn to handle when someone scold you, when someone mock you. You need to learn how to react to that. You have to learn how to work under a very stressful time, under a very short period of time. Yeah. So if your security, okay. Nabila, I hope that will answer your question. Just try to stick with one programming language. Even if you want to do mobile app, just stick with one language. Find a way workaround to stick with one programming language. And security. Okay, Nick Ame asked about security. I'm not sure about security because in Petronas we have a security expert. So mostly he will do the penetration test and most of the thing. But this is depend on your FYP system, because during my time doing degree, I was doing information system. So we are not focusing on the security part. So, but if you are information in security system, you need to look into that. But encryption and hashing, I think even in my time, we are implementing encryption and hashing in our password, right? Hmm. Okay, Imanisa asked me about internship. Okay, to first get a ticket, to first get a ticket to to get placement internship in Petronas City, you need to have a good grade. You need to have, if I'm not mistaken, at least 3 point something. I forgot about that. In Petronas City, they really look into your CGPA. That is the first ticket that they will look into, and then have a good resume. Your resume will explain who are you, and you can tell them. We also look into um, your FYP in your resume. So the first ticket, yes, have a good grades and build a good resume. Okay, in my opinion, the thing programming language has its own function. Yeah, I may answer. Yep. Java desktop app. Yep. So now, for desktop app, you can you you should try to learn about .NET. .NET, yeah, ASP.NET. Several during I was in Chris Infotech, converting several research code to desktop app. We use .NET to uh, be integrated with the current application, which is during the time is Petrel. So it used .NET and PHP web. I wouldn't prefer you choose. I think you can choose PHP, but it's better for you to stick with a framework, because PHP have a lot of framework. It's better for you to learn on framework. So if you're interested in doing FYP, it's better for you to explore framework, because using framework really ease your development process, because we have a lot of example in each programming framework. Even they have a login function, they have how you want to store data in database. You can look into Laravel. Right. C++, Green Project, yeah. Because for Green Project, you have to look into the GPU part. The lower the level of the programming language, the better for you to create a better game, because you have to access the full capability of the GPU. Even here we have research on the image processing, which is we have to process the seismic shots in the earth and try to replicate how our subsea look like, our under earth look like, and to interpret how would where will we play, where the oil should be. So in here we use Fortran, and you also need to learn something about CUDA programming language. Okay, Java, yep. Zaim also said that Java Android application also does. I guess we have a few senior programmer here. Yeah, I know a few of them. Okay, if you're looking into front end, okay, in programming we have front end and back end programmer. If you're looking to work into the front end, it's better to you to have a UI UX experience, UI UX certificate to learn how you would design the website better. Right. Yep. Some, because not all people can write a back-end code to write um, how the flow of the system, but they can write a beautiful front end. Right. To start easier, I guess Anissa asked about easier programming language is obviously PHP. Everyone, I think, started using developing the project using PHP, but it depends on your project. Yeah, I think PHP would be easier. Okay, Flutter. Oh, okay. I've read about Flutter, but I've never experienced using it. It is quite new language. It's about 2 years. It's about 1 year. They said it's quite easy. Maybe you guys can try it. Okay, for my primary language, I'm using Python. So Python have some trick in parallel processing where you want to parallelize your job. It has overhead costs of a Python language itself. We sometimes consume time in parallelizing the job. Like it's better to write a strong parallel codes in C++ because you can access directly to CPU and parallelize your job. Because yep. Okay, security and IT. Someone once told me to further study in security and IT because of a more job after grad. What do you think, sir? Okay. I have one friend. I have one friend working in security. Oh, someone is presenting their screen. Okay. Uh, okay. I have one friend that work in security field, where he he is actually a white hat hacker. When I was working in Pisca, but during that time, he worked there not to look into security part, but uh, he's doing another thing. But he's furthering. I'm not sure about the certificate. Forgot about it. I think a penetration test certificate something. But now, to pass that certificate is quite hard. It's quite a laborious time to do. But we actually in Malaysia, we have even in Petronas, we are hiring. Uh, I mean, in Paris, we ask a consultant outside to look into our security, our research. I mean, our end product security, so that it cannot be uh, steal or something. I mean, the penetration testing. So I think we have lack of security in IT in Malaysia. But if it would be a good thing for you guys to explore uh, security in IT, because one of my friends actually now the same age with me own about 10K per month in multinational company at Perancangan. I hope that will be uh, motivation for you guys to try to explore on security. Okay, the hardest part in doing research. Uh, uh, in my place, where PRSB, we are focusing on subsurface and imaging. The hardest part, I think this would reflect to which part you are going to further in. If in my case, the hardest part is to learn the domain itself, because you have to learn uh, what are the business currently researching. Because for me, we are trying to find oil under earth, so I need to study what are the geophysics, the geologies, the petrophysics have studied for at least during their degree time. So understanding their research before converting to work to the end product is 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 very part. It's very hard. It's very hard. Okay. This is a good question. Which which better for us to go internship, like a big company or small company? I would prefer for you guys to go for a small company for internship, because you will learn a lot of things. Because when I work with Gates IT Solution, uh, even you are an intern staff there, you are given a lot of job. So it's better for you to take that chance, because yeah, you can leverage on that. Yeah. And you can own more with the experience. Yeah. Even if you start with a big company, you may not own that much, because they have a certain level of salary if you start with fresh. But if you have a good background, you have a good skill, technical skill, you can own more, because eventually everyone goals is money, right? So leveraging on that, you should go internship with a small company, because during that time you will directly deal with the user. Even you are intern, but you still have to deal with the your 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 project user. I mean, if your client is uh, example Jupiter, you need sometimes need to discuss with them, so you will get that exposure, uh, uh, how to deal with user. And also you will get a chance to be scold with your boss, to be pushed to work in very stressful environment. You get a chance to not to sleep at night. We got a chance to get less money, less pay, but has time to do. Uh, because what will develop you is the pressure, a positive pressure around you. If you're being uh, too comfortable with your environment, you will not grow. So if you go to the small company, you will work in a very stressful time. So eventually you will grow, you will get better. So don't be sad if during your internship time you do a lot of unnecessary thing. You do a lot of thing, a repetitive thing, and work in stressful time. Always get scolded. Just happy to do it, because you are not when you don't appreciate the things that you get. I mean, you keep complaining the problem that you have. You will not learn a thing. Instead of that, you have to learn how to appreciate the things that you get, and try to deal with that problem. Try to make a solution instead of ranting for the problem that you have. When you have a problem, don't tell people what are your problem. Instead, tell people what is your solution. That is the best way. Okay, certified certificate for UX development is quite expensive. Yeah. Okay, actually, we online courses such as, if I'm not mistaken, Coursera, Coursera, they offered a uh, cheaper online courses, because sometimes online courses, certain company accept it, because you complete their task, you complete their assignment, and they at consider that as a good certificate. So you can you can prove to their interviewer what uh, e-learning have you gone through. Right? I forgot about a few online courses that we have, but I learned on machine learning is on Coursera. They have a few good instruction there. They have a few good classes there. You can learn a lot of things on online classes. But the thing with online classes, they are quite boring, tiring, because you have to focus, look on the screen, because there's no two-way communication. You have to only look in the video and try to practice the assignment. That is one of the challenge, because you can easily get distracted. Uh, okay. Uh, I may ask me to continue working at the same place after grad, or better to find a place. Okay. It's better for you to jump company, because you will develop more. Uh, Actually, my goal is not joining Petronas this early. Uh, 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 because when you change company, you will get to know new person, new environment, and learn new things. Eventually, you will grow and learn more things during that time. So you will learn a new culture, new company. You will learn new bosses. You will learn new language, new technology. So you will be because in your earlier phases of working, you need to look into which part is your best. I think what are your pathway for your career, which which route you want to go. You whether you want to go to web development, desktop development, and also yeah, machine learning to twist something. Yeah. So better for you not to stay in the same company more than 1 hour. Sorry, 1 year. So after 1 year, try to find a new job. Try to find a new company. So, okay, Dr. Naraini, how to handle ups and downs during FYP? Okay, basically, FYP, you have to have a good communication with your supervisor because they are during FYP. You should treat your supervisor like your best friend, like your you should meet them oftenly. What I meant. So because even you are failing to, I mean to you are hitting a rock when you are developing your FYP, because not everyone have the same technical knowledge. Not everyone is good at programming, but you need to let your supervisor know, because maybe they can they can provide you solution, or instead of, if you're too if you're not comfortable with supervisor, but please meet with your genius intelligent friend in your class. Maybe he can help you, but please don't find them, please don't go to them at the end of the FYP session. Maybe they can help you if you meet them in the first place. So back in my time, I have a few issue with my project. Uh, yeah. So how I handle that, I inform with my supervisor what's my progress. Uh, yeah, and told them and try to give a small update every time you meet with your supervisor. Yeah. And regarding FYP project, please don't go too ambitious. Please don't go too crazy. Please don't propose a highly sophisticated project, because we have a very short time frame. Even in IT industry, I mean, some of them are expert. Even takes time to develop a module, not a system. But you yourself is going to develop an entire system within 6 months without a good technical background. So uh, to ensure that your FYP project meets the required deadline, uh, you should at least plan how you should at least draw a simple workflow just from A to B. Just make sure that the most important part of your project is working. and start to grow from that. Not try to develop everything in at one time. I mean, if let's say you, for in my case, I'm doing the evaluation system. Just make sure that that evaluation part from A to Z is finished. In my case, uh, the user should able to the IT officer should be able to answer the questionnaire, to answer that the vendor complies with the health regulation, and then the admin part able to approve that uh, the 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 question, the answered interview question, and then that's it. From so you need to start from the smallest flow, from the simplest flow, and then try to grow to it. Because what I'm based on my experience, past experience, people will try to learn to firstly develop login page at the first time, right? So please, you guys, try. Yeah, I think login page is very simple thing to do. If you can do a login page, then you can proceed to that. So it's better for you. Yeah, after that, if let's say you have done your login page, and then directly straight focus. What is your project requirement? If you are proposing to do, let's say, a car rental booking system, and yeah, car rental booking system, make sure that that booking system work, and then you can start adding more feature. Just start from that small thing. Yep. I hope that answer your question, Dr. Norini. Uh, how often do you refer to your FYP supervisor during your time? Okay. Pemerah usually will have a monthly update, if I'm mistaken. So we'll have to. So she will call all his FYP student to 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 a room, and everyone should present their progress. So if I'm not mistaken, it was twice a month or once a month. Yep. Is it possible for us to do as much discussions? Almost okay. So regarding supervisor, you need to be respectful to them. You need to contact them properly. Uh, please don't call them. Don't call them before you notify them. Uh, before you call them, please WhatsApp them or email to them. I think is the best way to contact your supervisor is by emailing them and showing them your progress. Yeah. I'm your discussion using PKP. I think it should be any issue because but I haven't faced any issue with this because maybe I can relate with my job, my current job, because every day I will present my work to my team lead 15 minutes earlier in the morning. So maybe you can implement that. Just show daily progress. Just book your supervisor time, 15 minutes every day or 10 minutes every day or 5 minutes every day. Just to show you your small progress every day, because maybe you can implement that in your small discussion to show the progress of your work, and also to ensure that your your FYP is still in progress, not just stop there. Right? Maybe you can implement that Scrum methodology, because in Scrum we will have a short presentation to tell what have you have done yesterday, uh, what is your problem that you face, and then what are you going to plan to do next. So maybe maybe that's three question you can do during that session. Maybe just every day might help you to face through uh, this FYP development. Okay, another one. What kind of quality should we take into account when job hunting since the startup company go back now? Thank you, Shazwan. Okay. Hmm. Uh, it has to look what is your future ambitions. What are you going to do next? Are you planning to next work further on administration or work in programming or just managing people or research? But if you're going straight directly to programming, I think it's a fun thing to start with startup. Yeah. But I haven't got any experience, and none of my batch, my classmates are joining startup, so I cannot guarantee that joining startup is a very good thing because I haven't heard of any bad things about it. Because if you want to try, but so far I've heard that joining startup can help can can help you gain more experience faster. Right? You are able to dig into new technology faster than other places. Yep. But I've heard a few down story of it, but I don't remember about it. But if you are going to corporate, it's a good thing. Yeah, you you can learn more on how to specifically to manage your tasks, to specifically manage your time. How should you work on your task? Because when you go to a corporate company, a big corporate company, they will give you a very specific job, very specific task. So you will do a very good, clean job. Yeah. And in government, I'm not sure about that. But if you're doing in government, surely you will be a good administrator. You are able. Uh, I'm not sure about government, but if you're doing, if you are working with statistic, I'm not sure about that. I guess in MKN Majlis Keselamatan Negara have one divisions. I mean a statistic body something. They have a few programmer there that really works in data in machine learning too. Maybe yeah, you 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 can get uh, you can get a better exposure to that. Yep. But if you're okay, different company have different culture. But if you're the best company you want to go is multinational company where it has uh, international and local stuff there. Because you are really going to improve your English, you're going to really learn about their culture, how do they work. It's the best company I think to work with. If you have a local company that has international stuff, you can also work there because it will improve your working culture. Yep. Okay, so last question here. Abdul Karim Abdullah asked me, now most of us nearly finished the previous semester. There was no idea what career to pursue. Oh, okay. Hmm. If you are interested in Actually, IT world is quite huge, but you have to experiment. Uh, okay, okay. I guess in my batch we also have a few of my classmates are not really doing programming. Instead, instead they are doing IT support. They are doing managing apa managing the users, managing the manpower, and all those things. Because we can also be a business analyst. Instead of you typing codes, you help the to capture requirement from the user, because user and IT maybe doesn't understand what we are going to do next. But to answer your question here, just try to apply any IT company, maybe in IT support first, and then you can try to experiment each field where it would fit most, because not all IT company where you need to codes. I hope that answer your question, Abdul Karim. Yeah, I guess that's all the question.
Okay, thank you, Hafiz. So everybody, thank you very much for your participation. Don't leave yet. Please don't leave yet. We have Google Form attendance after this. I will wrap up a bit. Thank you very much, Hafiz, for
Yep.
for this sharing session.
Sure, sure.
I think it's very fruitful because this is based on your real life experience,
Yep,
your real life knowledge during
yep.
final year project until now. And I think you left one important things. If you
Sorry.
remember what you need to
Uh-huh.
do during your final year project, which is
Okay.
backup.
Yes, okay.
Uh,
So, during my final year project, my laptop broke down, and some of it I already backup in the Google Drive, but a few latest module that I have done, I need to rewrite it back. So, regarding that, please uh, save your codes. Yeah, because you guys doesn't know about GitHub, GitLab. Uh, you should backup your code in Google Drive. You should sync that development code into Google Drive. You should link your Google Drive. Sorry, there's a setting in there's software in your laptop. You can install it, and it will sync with Google Drive. So everything you type there will be uploaded to Google Drive. Please save your work. Don't be like me, because I need to rewrite most of the important part in FYP. Yeah.
okay, thank you. But still, he's doing a very good job. Very
Yeah.
good job. And I hope all of you that attend this sharing session will become very bersemangat. Bersemangat so I hope you
Yeah.
will have a lot of patience for your next semester. Start find your supervisor. I think week 14 you need to submit your form A. You need to find and search for your dream supervisor. I don't know whoever it is. Okay. And then what I can conclude for this session in doing your final year project, you need to have critical thinking skills. You need to have problem solving skill. You need to have communication skill with supervisor and with user. And then you need to discuss, which is it's very important.
Yep.
And beside that, technology. So you need to know what you are going to use, what language, what
Yep.
your I mean, when you explore a few language, then you will know which language that will you will prefer to do. Pray a lot, doa, pray, uh, up and down is normal, but somehow you will overcome it. If you are down, don't be down for too long. You can discuss with your friends and supervisor. Okay, and remember, you are not lonely. Okay, maybe it's a lonely journey, but you still have friends and supervisor. So build relationship with your supervisor. Actually, he or she can be your friends, and sometimes he or she become closer with you rather than your PA, which is this is real case. This is real case. Okay, this is real case. Okay. So I think that's it. Thank you again, Hafiz.
Yep.
And I will send Google Form attendance here. I will open it only 15 minutes. So you need to fill in the attendance form, and there are 3 simple questions. Just answer it. If you be in this session, I think you will know the answer. It's very simple. Okay. So
One more thing I want to ask. I want to say sorry if, let's say, I'm not giving you enough information, not sharing you not enough thing, because as a programmer you might not be able to present well, because I never present to 180% before. Previously I'm only presenting to my team. The maximum of it is about 10%, so I'm not sure whether my sharing session is enough for you guys, and hopefully you can find a good thing in it, and please leave behind the bad things that I've shared during the session. Yeah, that's all for me. So thank you, everyone.
wait. Okay, so this is the link. Wait, where is the link? Okay, so this is the link. I will open it around 15 minutes. So 12:50, I will close the link. Okay, thank you again, everyone. Okay, bye. It's a wrap. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hafiz. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Tengah isi borang.